You'll have to excuse me. I'm trying to talk quiet. It's the middle of the night, and I don't want to wake other people in the house up or annoy them. But I wanted to get this fixed and this video shot. I purchased this the other day, actually a couple weeks ago, at a Goodwill, and as you see it says as is. Now, it did not come with a power cord or a remote control, but when I picked it up to take a look at it, the drawer slid out, and this is not supposed to happen. Matter of fact, it's just freewheeling. So let's take a look inside, and it's probably just a broken belt. Hopefully it's not a broken gear, and should be pretty easy fix. There it goes. Okay, so this is, I guess, the belt for the, no, the belt's underneath of the drawer, or underneath the pulley. Under here. Yeah, see what happens with this stuff over time is these belts just get gooey, and then they stick to the pulley, and then somebody turns the motor on, or turns the power on, the motor just sucks it up. Look at that. We got a popped cap. That's not healthy. So I haven't plugged this one in yet. I did find a power cable that should fit. It's not the one for it, and it's not exact, but it should. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is we are going to have to take this drawer. Well, we may not have to take the drawer out. We might be able to just slip a belt in there, as long as there's no broken gears or anything. We are going to have to take this board out. This looks like the power supply board, and I'm not sure if there's anything else damaged. So once we power this up, we'll find out. That's the only thing I'm seeing. Let's check the fuse and see if the fuse is still good. Seems like the fuse is good. Okay, so I have the service manual here, and it's got the schematics, and we gotta find that board. So this looks like the actual layout. And this would be if you're looking at it from underneath, it seems. So you got the fuse, the power connector, and you got this, which they're saying is a capacitor. And then you have the transformer, which is here. And then you have just a bridge or a shunt, or it's a bridge. And then you got the resistor. You have another cap. I'm trying to look at this backwards. You have the rectifier there. And right there is our capacitor. So that looks like it's just a filter cap. It comes right off the end of the rectifier, so that just filters out any noise, and it cleans up the DC voltage. So this may have actually operated just fine without it. Now, it may have been kind of noisy, and it may have locked up or what have you, but it may have turned on enough to actually open the drawer or run the motors. So the board looks actually pretty good. There's no burn marks, nothing scorched. So I wonder if this just got old and just popped. It's 200 volt, 150 milliamp. I'm sorry, 200 volt, 150 microfarad. Now when you go to replace capacitors, you can always go with a higher voltage. So if I find one with, that's 1,000 volts, highly doubt that I'd find one that would fit on this board with that voltage, but if I did and it was still 150 microfarad, it'll work just fine. You never want to go below the voltage, and you always want to stick with the with the correct rating. Okay. Now, being that this is just a filter capacitor, I'm going to take a guess and say that I could probably throw, you know, a 200 microfarad or higher in there. Because all they're looking to do is take the noise out of it. Good enough. Alright, so this one's pretty blown. Let me see what I can find. Okay, so as luck would have it, went through my parts bin of old boards, and I found a power supply, and I found a couple capacitors. This is a 220 microfarad at 200 volts. How many volts was this? 200. That's. But I did find, here I got two of these that are identical. 400 volt, 150. Yeah, excuse me. 400 volt, 150 microfarad. So where did I put my meter at? Let's just verify that this cap is still good. And let's just do this. $142. What's this one? They're about the same. I'm going to go with this one only because the plastic's not on this one. Alright, so negative would be the dot. There we go. Easy enough. Okay. We have a new capacitor on there. Well, a new used one. And it should just slide. There we go. And I noticed in the store, I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but it's stuck out of the front a little bit. I'm not sure if that's just because it's not closing all the way or if it's supposed to look like that. I guess we're going to find out. But actually, before I do that, let me just double check. See, what you want to do also check is the grease. Now, this grease, this is white lithium grease. This is actually in still good shape. It's not sticky. May want to, at some point, throw some on the rails, on the tracks here, because I don't see any on the tracks. But it seems to move back and forth pretty well, so we're going to leave it alone. Let's see if I can find a belt. I'm not sure. That's going to be way too big. Not sure if this is going to be too tight. It's kind of tight. But that may work, so we're going to leave that. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's try this one here. That's a little bit bigger than that one. It's a little bit thicker too. That actually looks like it's going to work, so we're going to give that one a shot. So I'm not even going to screw this in just yet. We're just going to put this in place. Okay, dude, seriously, don't destroy it. There we go. For all I know, we're going to plug this in and see a big puff of smoke, so not going to get too far ahead of myself. I think that's in. Okay, moment of truth. I'll even do this. Alright, so see, turn it on. It says hello. Loading. No disk. Turn it off, it says goodbye. Cool. Very cool. So let's put it back together and see if it actually works. So she's all plugged in, just running composite straight to the TV. If composite works, chances are everything else is going to work. So for now, that's all I'm going to test. And alright, so JVC open. Let's move this back a little bit. So put a blank, we'll put a music CD at number 2. And let's see, how do we skip to, there's number 3. You see what's interesting is number 2 is actually over underneath number 3. How cool is that? Alright, so let's play number 1. I don't have a remote for this, so hopefully we can do everything from the front panel. Okay, this is just a simple CD, or I'm sorry, a DVD that I created just to test this kind of stuff. Nothing crazy. So the color looks okay. Again, this is just through composite, so it's not the highest quality, but it looks like it works. Colors are great. It's just a video to see how it plays. And there is audio, but okay, let's try number 2. This is an audio CD. It's not like in the audio CD. Just sitting there reading and reading and reading. Might be something I have to look into. Now these use actually 2 different lasers for DVD and for audio. Yep, skipped right past it. Went straight to disc 3, which is also a DVD. Yep, that works. And it seeks the tracks really quick. There's Freddy. So that's something I'll look at a later date. We'll try and do a fix. But for now, the fact that we had a blown up capacitor and a bad belt, this thing can once again be used as a DVD player and possibly a CD player. Get those magnets off there. And again, it was sold as is for $9, which was a little expensive for something that doesn't work, but didn't know that at the time. Well, I knew the drawer didn't open and close. So, thank you if you're still watching. Thank you. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Sorry, I hope this wasn't too long and too boring, but I wanted to get this out the door, or at least I wanted to get it looked at, and this video made at the same time, so I chose to do it in the middle of the night. And may not do that again because it's kind of difficult to be quiet when you're working on this. So I hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.